Welcome into Mustang Game Day here in Swanson Studio. We have a great show today as we break down everything about Cal Poly women's tennis ahead of the Big West Championships in San Diego. My name is Dylan Allen.
My name is Jack Bynum. So let's take a look at the Big West tournament. The Mustangs clinched the number 2 seed in the Big West Conference Championships with action from Barnes Tennis Center in San Diego starting yesterday. They'll be looking to defend last year's Big West title and their second in program history. After going on a historic run last year as the number 5 seed, 6 teams remain in the 10-team conference tournament, with Cal Poly and Santa Barbara both receiving double byes into the semifinals. The Mustangs semifinal match will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. as they will await the winner of Northridge and Hawaii.
Absolutely, Jack. It's going to be a lot of great action down in San Diego. Well, you and I both got to travel down to Santa Barbara for the regular season finale where the Mustangs took on the number 33 ranked Gauchos, looking to clinch a share of the Big West title.
Yeah.
Take a look. Behind me is the Arnold Tennis Center where the Cal Poly Mustangs just fell 4-0 on the road to UC Santa Barbara. They now wrap up their regular season and head into the Big West Championships as the number 2 seed.
This is why college athletics is so fun, is being able to be in these environments and compete with your teammates and all that. So as much as I think it was tough for us, I think it's also awesome. You know, I think it's exactly the kinds of situations that we want to be in to best prepare us for next week in the conference tournament.
The Mustangs had to compete in a hostile road environment as the crowd was fired up for the Gauchos Senior Day. The Mustangs got down early, but senior Peyton Dunkel said the focus remained on each point.
In an environment like this, you just really have to do a good job of just like keeping your head down and like focusing on your court. Like, it's easy to kind of get frustrated just by like the elements. It's pretty windy today and just by all the cheering going on.
The match was much closer than the score showed, as the Mustangs were in third sets in 3 of the remaining matches before the game was called at 4-0.
I think they're scared now. After today's match, I think I can confidently say that they're scared, and we're going to use the momentum for the end for this match and move it on to next week.
The team will now take this experience from such a hostile environment and use it for the conference tournament in San Diego, where a potential rematch against Santa Barbara awaits in Sunday's title match.
I always try to make practice, you know, tough in different ways, mentally, physically tough, and you know, this was mentally really tough, the circumstances, and you know, for me in a lot of ways, I feel like the tougher the better, you know, so that our team is used to adversity and used to being able to play through whatever's thrown at them.
Since Cal Poly received a double bye with the number 2 seed, they will just need to win 1 match to get back to the Big West Championship on Sunday, April 27th.
Well, Jack, you heard what Coach Ellie said. I mean, she wants to make practice in the games that they play in hostile, and that road environment in Santa Barbara was about as hostile as you can get for senior day there. I mean, the fans were very involved in that match.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Probably one of the best cultures and environments I've been, though, for a tennis match. And then it was also Amelia Owner's final match, number 1 player at UCSB. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stick with us through the break as we'll take a look at the tournament bracket in San Diego.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
Welcome back to the show, and thanks for sticking with us on Mustang Game Day for Cal Poly Women's Tennis. Now we're going to break down where things stand in San Diego. The Mustangs clinched the number 2 seed in the tournament, meaning they will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. They await the winner of Hawaii and Cal State Northridge after both teams won their first-round matchups. On the other side of the bracket, UC Santa Barbara clinched the number 1 seed and will also play tomorrow against the winner of Long Beach State and UC Davis. The tournament is a one-match elimination format, meaning only 6 teams remain in the tournament. The Mustangs will find out who they play later today, as Hawaii and Northridge will play right as the show concludes at 12 p.m.
Yeah, Jack, the Mustangs have taken on both CSUN and Hawaii before, Big West opponents. They took down CSUN on March 16th. It was a 7-0 sweep, and they also beat Hawaii when they were holding a number 70 national ranking. They beat them 5-2. That was out on the road in Honolulu, so they have experience facing both of the teams that they will play tomorrow. Yeah,
I think that helps, especially Long Beach State. They're in the other bracket, and they lost to them earlier, so that's big.
Yeah, well, sideline reporter Ali Tafesh got a chance to talk with junior standout Kennedy Buntrock, who's been sensational for the Mustangs at line number 1. Take a look.
So Kennedy, what is your favorite pre-game meal, like your go-to pre-game meal?
Okay, so my go-to pre-game meal would definitely be, I like something a little like lighter, so I love a yogurt bowl. That's what I've been into recently. It's light, so it's not too heavy before my match, and just like some bananas, granola, a little honey, all the fruit in there. Yeah, fuels me well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so another question. What are the emotions that are running through your head right now ahead of this big tournament? You guys have the double bye. So how do you feel about starting off with the advantage, and what are you thinking going into this?
Yeah, I'm just super pumped, honestly, to be defending, our title from last year, and I'm feeling good. We have a week of practice coming at us right now, and we're just still training our butts off each day just to get better, 1% better, every day. And I'm just excited to go out there and compete and just lay it out on the line.
Yeah, but that's good to hear. Okay, final question. So, you guys obviously, unfortunately, lost to Santa Barbara this past week. How do you feel about that potential rematch? Obviously, you guys beat them last year. So, how do you feel about that going into this year's tournament?
What a great opportunity, right? So, we played them just this past weekend, and now we know a little bit more than we did before, so we can kind of strategize off that, and it's just another opportunity to go see if we can achieve a goal. So I'm just feeling really excited, and now that I know a little bit more, I feel a little bit better. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, I appreciate you, Kennedy. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Ali, for the interview. It's always great to hear from Kennedy, who plays at line number 1. I'm excited to see her action in San Diego. Stick with us through the break, as we'll be breaking down some of the key players of this Mustang squad.
The black truck. Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to the show. It's been a pleasure to be here talking Cal Poly women's tennis with my guy, Dylan Allen.
Yeah, we'll be breaking down 3 key players in the Mustangs' success this year, starting with junior Sasha Ozeritz, then freshman Jessica McCallum, and lastly, senior Romain Masset, the French phenom.
Yeah, so first, we'll get into Sasha Ozeritz. She's been the force for the Mustangs all year long as she plays at number 4. She's 15-6 on the season and is coming off a loss in her last match at Santa Barbara. But she's one of those key players who was on the team for last year's run to the Big West title. Ozeritz has clinched 5 different matches for the Mustangs and is no stranger to late-game heroics or clutch moments. In their match against Sacramento State earlier this season, where both teams were ranked, Ozeritz came up with a huge clincher that picked up a ton of momentum for this team. She's been a huge part of the Mustangs team for 3 years now, and she's seen all the ups and downs for them. In her freshman and sophomore year, the team lost in the Big West title in back-to-back years, finally before pulling through for the title last year. Now she'll look to help lead this team back to their 2nd consecutive title. Dylan?
Yeah, and then as for freshman Jessica McCallum, she's one of my favorite players to watch this season, playing and owning court number 5 all season long. Her record is 18-3, and she's closing in on a lock for Big West Freshman of the Year. Apart from just wins, it's amazing to see her growth and development this year. It's not often you see a freshman having such an immediate impact this early into her career. The passion she plays with is off the charts, and the emotion makes her a fun watch as well. Specifically, that Columbia match where she was the clincher was spectacular. She was swarmed by the team with tears of joy streaming down her face. And then another fun moment this season was Jessica and her older sister, Sarah McCallum, lined up to play doubles this year, and their dad referred to them as the double Mac attack, and they won in a dominant 7-0 win over Riverside.
Yeah. Speaking of favorite players, my favorite player to watch is Romain Masset. I mean, you mentioned her perfectly, the French phenom. She's amazing. She's 14-7 this year. She was 17-5 last year. Transferred last year from Jacksonville State, and she's made an immediate impact. Her passion she plays with. You could hear it from all over Ronca Tennis Center. She's screaming, "Allez!" like, let's go in French. And she just brings a spark to this team that not many other players could do it. It's just natural. And yeah, she's an amazing player and one of the team captains this year. You have any thoughts on Romain, Dylan?
Well, Romain's super fun to watch. She had a very tough match down in Santa Barbara, so she's coming off a loss and will look to avenge that in San Diego in their first match tomorrow. But she's a very, very exciting player to watch, and reporter Amanda Avila got a chance to catch up with her earlier this week ahead of the tournament.
I'm Amanda Avila reporting from Ronca Tennis Center, where Cal Poly women's tennis is wrapping up their final days before heading into the Big West Championships. I'm joined with Romain Masset. Romain, how are you feeling heading into this week, and just how has this last week of practice been?
Yeah, super excited. I think we're just looking for this tournament. We have had a great season, and now it's just like the most important moment of the season, and we're just super excited to go to the tournament. We are seed number 2, so we are happy that we're starting in semifinals. Yeah, we just keep grinding at practice every day and keep working on stuff, and yeah, the goal is to win, so we're just super excited and super motivated about it.
Yeah, as team captain, how are you planning on leading the team and motivating them through this postseason run?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is super motivated. One goal as a captain with Peyton, we just wanna keep motivating every day. Like, let's go, guys, we can do it. We support each other. We are here for our teammate, and we just wanna everyone have fun. You know, tennis is fun. You're part of a team for only 4 years or 5 years, and we're super glad to be here, each other. So yeah, we're just happy to be here, and we support everyone, and we care about everyone. And we compete for everyone. That's one thing really important.
Definitely. You guys had a tough loss this past weekend 4-0 against UCSB. How do you plan on bouncing back from that and potentially using that as fuel in this tournament, if you got the chance to play them again?
Yeah, super excited if we can play them again. I think they give credit to them. They had a great match. That was their senior day. A lot of people show up to watch their match. Yeah, I think we were close. We need to work on couple stuff, doubles and singles, but I mean, we're just like super excited if we can play them again, and I'm sure it's gonna be a fight again. And yeah, it was just close, and you know, sometimes tennis does not always go your way, but we're just happy to keep to keep have the opportunity to maybe play them again and win that tournament like last year. So yeah.
Yeah, regarding last year, you guys came in as underdogs, and I'm just wondering, has that mentality changed? Do you still feel like underdogs in any way?
We do feel always underdog. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. We are putting too much pressure on us. Yeah, we are having a good season. True, people knows about that, but Big West, especially in tennis, is like really competitive. Like every team can win. You know that every match is gonna be hard. So I feel everyone can win, so we don't feel pressure that we need to win. Yeah, just like we're underdog and we take every match point by point, match per match, and that's what we did the whole season. So yeah, we're excited, super excited.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be watching the rest of your season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Amanda for that great interview. I think the theme around the team, what we've heard from practice this last week and then these two interviews, is that they're really excited to get a chance to play UC Santa Barbara again. Santa Barbara on the other side of the bracket is the 1 seed, and both teams will just have to win 1 match for a rematch in the title game.
Yeah. I mean, Cal Poly lost to Santa Barbara just this past week, but we've been so good against them for the past 3 years. We haven't lost since 2021, and we upset them last year in that Big West conference tournament as well when they were the #1 seed. So they're definitely excited to kind of get revenge, and I think it actually helps them going into the tournament, seeing that loss and getting hungry and get that drive again to play them.
Yeah, well, both teams entered that tournament as on 9-match win streaks. So now Santa Barbara's on a 10-match win streak, and Cal Poly, as you said, they now have the underdog mentality.
Yes.
Stick with us through the break. We'll be talking more about Peyton Dunkel, who reached the most wins in program history in their last home match of the season.
I am what hunger looks like in America.
I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs, and that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. As veterans, we can tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. But you've never been interested in easy. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day, where we'll be breaking down all things women's tennis before the Big West tournament. Dylan?
Yeah, well, for Peyton Dunkel, one of the leaders on this Cal Poly team, she reached the most wins in program history with 52, and I got the chance to catch up with Peyton about what setting the program record meant to her.
Senior Peyton Dunkel is now the all-time leader in career singles victories at Cal Poly. On April 19th, in her final home match, she picked up her 52nd win of her 4-year career, cementing her name in the record books.
Going into this match, I didn't want to think about like the record or anything, but once I started the match, I was like, okay, like I'm not losing this.
Peyton didn't know about the record until she tied it the day prior. She wasn't even thinking about it until she saw her older sister Delaney and many friends in attendance to watch her break history.
I was like, I'm just gonna go out swinging. Like, I'm not gonna get tired, I'm just gonna go out swinging. And I just honestly just had so much fun out there and like just played for everyone that was watching me and that has been supporting me throughout these 4 years.
It was a perfect day for Peyton, as she was one of 3 seniors honored for Senior Day after the match.
All my hard work has paid off, and like this team especially has just been like super special. Everyone's super close, and this is why we play, is for the community and for like our bond that we've created.
After years of dedication on the tennis court, head coach Ellie Edlis-Williams had nothing but praise for the senior star. Williams has coached her since she was a little kid, as Peyton grew up on the Central Coast in Arroyo Grande.
It's absolutely wild. I really feel short of words, you know, to kind of describe just how proud I am of her as a person and as a player. But you know, what she's been able to accomplish here in her 4 years is really remarkable.
The Mustangs now head into the Big West Championships as the #2 seed, just behind UC Santa Barbara. Last year, Peyton's older sister Delaney capped off her fantastic career as a Mustang with an improbable Big West title. Now, Peyton will look to do the same in her final postseason, using all her experience and talent to lead this squad back to their second consecutive title.
Thank you, Dylan, for breaking down her incredible achievements. That was beautiful.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see that in person. We were both there for that match. She, as you know, we talked about, she tied it the day prior. That was really cool as well, and then to see Delaney, her older sister, there. All the support for Peyton, it was just really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to head into break now, but stay tuned because when we come back, we'll be breaking down everything for the Big West tournament this weekend.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day, where we're taking a deep dive into Cal Poly women's tennis before they compete at the Big West Championships tomorrow. Now, Jack, let's take a look at some team storylines throughout the season. One of their best years as they hold an 18-4 record heading into the conference tournament. What have been some of the key matches that you've seen this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible season for Cal Poly women's tennis. The first match that really sticks out to me would be that Washington State match on February 7th. It was pretty much their first true test in the year, and they swept them 7-0, and at the time Washington State was ranked. I really think that was kind of their breakthrough match. And Dylan, we've been together at a lot of other matches, and we've heard stories of what's been going on, but the Sac State match was incredible. It was 3.5 hours. Sasha Ozeritz was out there. She clinched that one. 4-3 Mustangs won when Sac State was ranked number 49. Going through, it's just a lot of dominance too. They beat teams when they're supposed to, 6-1, 7-0, and even that Columbia match, you remember when Jessica clinched that? Speak to that a little bit. I know you were on the court loving it.
Yeah, well, the Columbia match was awesome to watch. I think the theme this year is they've held a lot of rankings. You know, they're now defending a title, which is not familiar territory for this team because they actually lost the past 2 consecutive Big West Championships. So then they finally broke through last year. They got that title that they've been fighting so hard for, and Coach Ellie has been preaching to this team to just kind of block out the noise. They've held a national ranking for the majority of this season, and she doesn't want them getting too wrapped up in the rankings, you know, carrying a title. She just wants them to focus on competing and fighting as hard as they can.
Yeah, I love a team that could go out and win a year before, stay hungry, stay driven, and then come back and dominate again. So I love this team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great season for the Mustangs. As you said, they hold an 18-4 record, and they will play tomorrow against the winner of CSUN and Hawaii. at 1 p.m. Stick with us through the break as we'll be breaking down the 3 keys for Cal Poly.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
I'm high.
Oh.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day in Swanson Studio, and thank you for sticking with us. I hope you're having fun. We're having a great time. Let's talk about 3 keys, Dylan.
Yeah, well, the Mustangs will need to win just 1 match to get back into the Big West Championships for the 4th straight year. Jack, for the Mustangs to defend their title, there will be 3 keys for them throughout Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Starting with, they need to get off to a strong start in both doubles and singles. We've seen them kind of start off not as hot. They get down early and they then have to claw their way back into matchups, but a strong start will only benefit them tomorrow in their first match.
Yeah, I think for that, it just coming out comfortable. We saw in the UCSB match, there was a little bit of pressure. There was a lot going on, and it took them a while to settle in, but they always find their momentum later on in these matches and will always fight. So I think definitely a key is to start strong, like you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second key for this squad is for their backline to hold up. For this team, their backline has been really the rock of this squad. Lines 4, 5, and 6 have been incredible this year, starting with Sasha Ozeritz at 5, sophomore Natalie Lynch at 5, Ozeritz is at 4, and then freshman Jessica McCallum at 6. They've all been incredible this season, and I don't see it changing tomorrow.
No, I think depth is a huge thing for tennis because it is an individual sport. Like you go down every single line and just have to figure things out. But they won, okay, believe this, they won over 85% of their matches at 4, 5, and 6 right now. I mean, that's incredible. Definitely an X factor going into the tournament. They also have a strong line, 1, 2, and 3 too, so it'll be big.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last key, Jack, that we're going to talk about is what we've mentioned earlier. You know, they've carried these rankings throughout this season. They've been, you know, the highest national ranking they've had is 38, a little bit earlier in the year, but blocking out the noise, it's something we've heard from a lot of the players this season. Coach Ellie has preached it throughout various points, but you know, heading into this tournament, they're defending champions. They're the number 2 seed. They hold a double bye. How are they going to block out the noise?
You know, something about this team is they just stay humble. I love their humble attitude to the game of tennis and just life in general. But I mean, it's been a pleasure, and that's going to do it for our show, Dylan. The Mustangs will be kicking off the Big West Tournament tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the semifinals. So thank you much for tuning into Mustang Game Day. My name is Jack Bynum.
And I'm Dylan Allen. Be sure to watch women's tennis tomorrow at 1 p.m. And our next game day will be on May 2nd for Cal Poly Beach Volleyball. Thank you.